Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Monday morning, or afternoon actually. Hope you're well, hope you're looking after yourself and looking forward to a good day. Yeah, got quite a action-packed, jam-filled, all that stuff kind of video today. So we're talking a little bit around Lloyd Kelly and the situation of, well, his contract situation, as well as one of the Sky Sports reporters tipping Spurs to be the favourite to sign him. Obviously, we do also see in the thumbnail, the title, you see that we're interested in Joao Gomes from Wolves. Got some updates from Brazil around Joao Gomes, as well as just a quick update on Bryan Gil and a potential departure, but only potential. And as well, we'll talk a little bit about Man United. So just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's just quickly start with Manchester United game yesterday. So look, 4:30 game yesterday, 2-2 draw away to Manchester United. All things considered, when you look at just the volume of players and starters, especially starters that we're missing, you think we're missing the main midfield that we've had all season in Bissouma, Sarr and Maddison. We're still missing Sonny up attacking. You're missing Kulusevski on the other side. You had two centre-halves that haven't really played in the last few months. This is the first game they played together since early November. Okay. And all in all, I won't even stop there. The midfield that did play have barely played in the last few months because of injuries and, just not being selected. You've got Timo Werner making his debut. You've got illness running through the squad. And we had 64% possession and we were miles the better team. Miles the better team. It does kind of make you think when you look at Man United and this form of Man United, what has gone so terribly wrong that they fell from being title winners to being outplayed by Spurs and other teams at Old Trafford. It's not just Spurs that have done it. Multiple teams have done it. And they've turned into a counter-attacking side. It's never been the Man United way. They had two chances. They scored two chances. I mean, they were both very good goals for them. But other than that, I'm going to be frank, they were rubbish. And had Spurs maybe had one extra player who would have started for us, Maddison, Kulusevski, and Lo Celso even, I think we would have easily won that game 3-4, 5-2 even. They were poor. They were really, really poor. We hit the bar. Obviously, Romero hit the bar from a corner. We were dominant from set pieces. When you have a midfield three of Bentancur, Skip and Højbjerg, there's not a lot creative-wise there. And I think maybe even had this been a month later when Timo's had 3-4 games in there, Van der Ven, Romero or Dragushin has found out how to say it, Dragushin. Yeah, there you go. We would have easily won that game. So I think, look, all things considered, yeah, maybe we should have won the game, but I don't think we had enough in terms of firepower to win the game, if you know what I mean. Like I said, had this been a game that happened in 3 weeks' time, easily 5-2, 6-2 even probably, to be honest, because they were so poor around Man United. And how the mighty have fallen. But all in all, decent result. Some good performances. The fullbacks were fantastic. The two centre-halves, you couldn't really have asked much more out of them. Keeper, yeah, we conceded two, but he didn't have anything to do. And the goals that we conceded, he can't stop. Bentancur, money. Absolute money. And I did think he had a slow first half. I think he really grew into the game as the game went on. I thought Skip and Højbjerg, they get a lot of stick. I thought they did all right, to be fair. People like to hone in on something they did wrong. And to be honest, I can be the same with certain players. You always look at something they've done wrong, but forget the 3 or 4 things they did well. The attacking three, yeah, there was some good and bad. Yeah, I thought Johnson struggled a little bit in the game. Wan-Bissaka is a fantastic defender. You've got to remember that. Wan-Bissaka might not offer you a lot going forward, but defensively, in a one-on-one situation, I might say he's the best fullback in the world. In a one-on-one defensive situation, genuinely, absolute money in those situations. So he had a difficult time with that. Timo was good, actually. I quite liked what I saw from Timo. Yeah, he had a couple of wayward shots, but to be honest, his link-up play was quite nice. His pace was very good. He seemed to already kind of get the system a little bit. Obviously not completely, but a little bit. And Richie was magnificent, in my opinion. Worked so hard. Scored a goal, by the way. Hey, guy's in form right now. I think it's 6-6 now for him. And really happy, to be honest. And like I said, had we had maybe Lo Celso there, we probably would have won the other game. We wouldn't even need a lot. We just need one player who technically is a backup to the number 10 role. Even Kulusevski, who's the backup to the backup, But anyway, let's talk some transfers. Let's talk Lloyd Kelly to start off, because he's the man on the thumbnail. And it came from Dharmesh Sheth. on Sky Sports News, and Team Talk reposted it. And their Team Talk said that Tottenham are being back to win the transfer race to sign Lloyd Kelly on a free transfer. So I was looking at this and I was thinking about it. And I predicted this a long time ago, that Spurs would get Lloyd Kelly on a free in the summer, Dragusin now, and there you go, centre-half sorted. You sprinkle in an Ashley Phillips, you sprinkle in a Dorrington or a young player that you don't have to rely on heavily, but they can give you some minutes. Even you might even keep Emerson around now because you think, actually, Emerson might be able to give us minutes at centre-half if necessary. Ben Davies even. But if you look at that four-man group, Van der Ven, Romero, Dragusin and Lloyd Kelly, that's pretty good to me. I'd be really happy with that centre-half group. And then you start to look at the centre-half area and go, I'm not worried about that now. By the way, Ashley Phillips, absolutely magnificent on his Plymouth debut. I don't know if you saw, Alan McInally was saying, he went, Merce, look out for this guy. He's going to be world class. And I was like, love that. But you look at that and you think sorted. So you look at left back. If Sessegnon gets fit, picks up some form, you might look at his left back and go, actually, might not need a left back now because you can sprinkle in a Ben Davies every now and then if you need to in there. Late in game, if you want to get someone on for the last sort of 10 minutes and just defend, get Ben Davies on there. He's pretty capable of doing some defensive duties. Right back, I still think we could improve at right back, but if he looks at Emerson and thinks, I've got enough to make do, I've got other areas to work on, I can see that. Because I think this summer you won't need a massive clear out, a massive clear in. I think 3-4 in the summer, I think another couple in January, and you might be at a spot where you go, well look, we've got 2 or 3 in this January, 3 or 4 next summer, maybe another couple in January. You start to look at it and go, that's about 9 players. In the summer we got quite a few, and before you know it, you start to look at it and go, that's a squad now. That's a squad. But yeah, I think Lloyd Kelly is definitely something that we're going to be looking at and sniffing around. Let's talk about Joao Gomes. These are Brazilian reports, and it came from Sport Witness who posted it, who said that more claims from Brazil. Tottenham are said to be preparing a proposal. Amount being mentioned still seems on the low side. So you go into the article and it talks about how they're looking to maybe potentially make a move with Joao Gomes, and they said that Gary O'Neill's side need at least 35 million euros to sanction his sale. And do you know what? He's an exciting player. He's 22 years old. He's an exciting player. He'd suit the system that we want to play. And I think people look at it and go, if it's not Ornstein or if it's not Romano, it's nothing. If you're actually more clued in on Brazilian reports, actually Brazilian reports are quite trustworthy. They were really trustworthy on the Anthony deal to Manchester United. They were way ahead of everyone else on that deal. They're ahead of a lot of Brazilians who have injury news or contract negotiations and like that. They're really far ahead of everyone. So definitely something that there is some substance to it. It may not be tons, but there is substance to this. And I do think he's of interest. I think Conor Gallagher's still of interest. I think Calvin Phillips might be of interest, but I think he might be a bit further down the list. I think Gallagher suits us the most, but also is going to cost an absolute fortune. And if Joao Gomes is going to cost 30 million and Conor Gallagher's deal is going to reach 50, 55 million, weigh it up. If you think you can coach Joao Gomes into the player that you want, then you go Joao Gomes. And look, he's Prem proven as well, which is the nice thing you got to think about. Prem proven. He's playing in a decent Wolves side, by the way. It's not a bad punt, if I'm honest. But let's finish off with some Bryan Gil news. So Bryan Gil, look, we talked about not long ago his interest it has from Fiorentina and Feyenoord in Serie A and the Eredivisie, respectively. And this Sport Witness said that the Tottenham player doesn't see move with, quote, bad eyes. Happy in London, but exit a real possibility, especially if it's given some long-term security. So that's the key thing on that last part, long-term security. He's going to have a loan with an obligation or a full sale purchase, I think, for him to move. And I said this, I don't see Spurs bringing in another attacker unless one of them leaves. And the one that's leaving would most likely be Bryan Gil. And you start to think, okay, if he's leaving, you bring one in. Jota's still out in Saudi Arabia doing bugger all, basically. So you might think, okay, that's an easy loan deal over there. The only thing I'd be wary of is the fact that he is the only other left-footed attacker that we have after Kulusevski. We've got a lot of right footers, and I do like to have at least a little bit of a balance and an option to have another left footer. So for me, I'd like a left footer to be brought in if he was to leave. Who that would be, I don't really know, to be honest. I just think Illing Jr.'s extending his contract at Juventus. Jota, obviously, the situation that you might think it's going to be him, but a bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. So I don't really know. But again, if it's a deal where you're going loan with an obligation to buy 15 million, it might be worth the punt. Take that money, you know, get a loan with like an obligation if you wanted, maybe, or an option to buy, like a Timo. Hell, that might even pay for Timo's deal, to be honest. You think, oh, okay, do that. You know, Solomon's nearly back. You know, Kulusevski will be back. Sonny is back in a few weeks, but we're not really playing that much over January anyway. You still got Richie. You know, Scarlett's back in here now. I don't know. They'll probably look for a cheaper option if Bryan was to leave. I think they'd look for a cheaper option. I think midfield is the area they're looking at right now. And like I said, I don't think you need open heart surgery in the summer. If you do things well this month, which they have so far, Timo looks like he could be, even if he's a good squad player, 15 million is nothing. Dragujin looks like he could be a monster. I looked that video of him walking in on Sky Sports when he walked. You know, watch the players walking in. The video of them, he walked in. He looks like he'd eat me. He's a monster in a good way. I'm scared of him, and I love that. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts about the game yesterday. Obviously, you got the Bryan Gil news. You obviously got the news around Lloyd Kelly and potentially getting him on a free in the summer, as well as Joao Gomes. What are your thoughts and feelings about it all? Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.